What's going on, family? It's Dr. Tartt. I just had to jump on today. Actually, I'm not gonna say working from home. I'm at home doing a break, waiting on our son to come into this world. He's taking his time. But in light of what's been in the media, where you see every year around Christmas holiday time, you see couples begin to uncouple or decouple or break up. A lot of times the couples in the limelight will catch the highlight, but it's happening all over the United States right now, where there are couples who've decided that they can no longer fake the holidays. They cannot go through Christmas Eve. They cannot go through Christmas. They cannot go through New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, and Valentine's Day, which are all back to back to back to back to back, right? That's going to be the Hawks titles, y'all. I called it 5 in a row. I had to laugh when I said that, but it might come true one day. Anyway, so they've decided, unfortunately, we can't do this, right? And I want to talk to you about why. And if you are married and you are getting ready to get married, I'm going to tell you the five factors actually that maintain a marriage based on the science, and we're going to break them down. All right. So I want to make sure that y'all get this. We're going to have fun. And just again, before we start, just welcome to another edition of Heart to Heart with Dr. Tart. You know, excited about being here with you today. And make sure, fam, you go ahead and you smash those likes, and go ahead and subscribe to this channel if you like it. I want to make sure this does well, that we have good time. But let's dive in. So first of all, what I want to do, fam, is I want to break down why this happens, and then I'm gonna give you the five factors to maintaining a marriage, right? I'm gonna break that down. All right. So why do couples break up over the holiday? So Christmas time, divorce attorneys start to get calls, right? Because people want to go into the new year, right? Something fresh. And they just find it incredibly difficult, which is why most psychologists we're working hard during the season. But I'm not. Y'all know I'm on paternity watch, right? I'm on, our son is coming any day now. He's supposed to come yesterday. But he's taking his time. So I'm at home and I wanted to feed the people. And it's something that I'm going to do. This is something that God has convicted me to do. More videos like this, feeding the people, moving forward. All right. So people want something new. All right. And the top reasons that I see for divorce is that people don't know how to maintain a quality relationship. It is difficult. It is difficult. It is a blessing when you know what you're doing. When you don't know what you're doing, it seems like a nightmare. So let's dive in, family. All right. Let's dive in. I know y'all already subscribe. Y'all liking this. Let's talk about number one. All right, I want y'all to see that. Hold on. Accommodative behavior, right? All right. So let me just kind of set this up just for a second. All right, and then we'll dive into this. So you already said yes to commitment, right? So anyone can commit. Well, I take that back. Not everyone can commit to marriage. There's this whole underground, they're not underground, they're loud community of men that don't believe you're supposed to commit to women, that you're supposed to just have random women the rest of your life. But the reality is that married men are happier, healthier, and wealthier, right? The word is true, right? It's not good for man to be alone, so I will create for him a helpmate, right? A helpmeet, right? And he who findeth a wife findeth a good thing and gains favor in the Lord, right? I mean, it's just real, right? So married men are just happier because they have a best friend. You come home, your house is a home. You have Christmas stuff going on right now. You have elf on the shelf. You have a beautiful wife. You have kids if you're blessed enough to be able to have them. You just have someone you could do life with. All right, you're healthier because your wife telling you to go to the doctor, eat right, look good. Y'all see my workout videos, right? Or one or two, right? But you're going to see that even more coming because I had to live a long time for our children. And three, we're wealthier because part of that's just practical, right? You have two incomes coming in, or one person they might be bringing in, but the other one's able to balance off the family and investments and or whatever the case may be. And then you make better decisions when you have to consider your wife and your children. You're going to be wiser, right? You're going to get wise counsel. So that's that. So you already made that commitment. So respect to you, kings, for being able to do that, right? Those men, young boys, if you're watching this, those men that consider themselves alpha males and they don't hold down a family. How's that alpha? When you just coming home to yourself. It's not alpha. An alpha male is like king, someone that protects the tribe, provides for the tribe. How can you be alpha? And you don't provide for anybody. You don't protect anybody. You hurt the woman you're supposed to protect. That's not alpha. Don't follow that logic. That's a little boy. That's some teen. That's teenager, right? A teenager can be with anyone. A college freshman can hold down his room and have relations with multiple women. That doesn't make you an alpha male. That make you a baby. Come on, man. You gotta level up, man. Anyway, I'm sorry. It's funny. People talking about this alpha male stuff. I'm like, man, come on. The game ain't got weak. That's some weak game. But let me stay focused. All right. So accommodative behavior, right? Because y'all here right now. Y'all like, let's talk about the marriage, man. Even though I know y'all feel me. All right. Accommodative behavior. All right. Number one, how often out of 100% do you accommodate to your partner's wishes? Let's be real. Do you accommodate to your like you see in this picture? This man is helping his wife study, right? Looking over some reports. Maybe it's business report. Maybe she's out here just killing the game, right? How often do you do that? Do you stop what you're doing and you accommodate what it is that she wants you to do, right? I just got finished. I just got finished. I hate yard work. I mean, we have a landscaper, but we got a notice from the HOA saying that they wanted us to do something in the front with some flowers. I mean, our HOA is over the top. How many of y'all had those? Anyway, but you want neighborhood look dope. So I immediately, because I ain't have time to call a landscaper, right? It's Christmas season, right? At the time of this video, went out there and banged it out. My wife wanted it done. I just accommodated, right? To what she did. And we were out there as a family. So it actually worked out. So anyway, out of 100% of the time, how often does your partner accommodate to your wishes, right? It's not about just what you do. And I'm talking to the ladies, talking to wives. I mean, your husband should be accommodating you too. Husbands, same thing. It can't just be you doing all the accommodating. Your wife has to accommodate to you too. When do you get to go back to school? When do you get to take a break and say, yo, I just want to go fishing. I just want to go hunting. If that's your thing, don't come for me, Peter. All right. But if you want, whatever your thing is, you just want to watch a game, you just want to rest. Do ask them to accommodate the fact that you deserve time off. And how often do you do something to accommodate the marriage, right? Sometimes there's things that are good for the marriage, right? That you both have to accommodate to, right? And so, like taking vacations without the children, that's good for the marriage. I know you want a family vacation. If you're blessed, go ahead and do both. All right. But you need time just for you and your boo, you and your king, just to spend time together. Y'all feel me? Right? Because love making is different. I'm just saying, we don't have to worry about the kids hearing and all this kind of stuff. And you can just focus. Your wife can get time, have time to luxuriate for you. As a man, you're not working. So that energy can be put to better use. Y'all know what I'm saying, man. Y'all understand. Y'all kings out here in this space. All right, let me be serious, even though I'm dead serious on that one. All right, let them see it, man. I'm talking to myself. Number two, willingness to sacrifice. I know you're thinking, like, isn't that the same as being accommodative? Kinda, but a sacrifice is even bigger. All right, so sacrifice means that you're really doing something that's like outside of your wheelhouse, like you don't want to do it, you disagree with it, but you are sacrificing. So you are dying to self for the greater good of your partner. So how often do you do this for your partner, and how often does your partner do this for you, right? So when I went to ministry school, I just came home and told my wife, babe, I feel called by the Lord to go in ministry school. We have an interview tomorrow. Now, I wasn't procrastinating. I just called church and they said, look, yeah, we're doing our first class, our first enrollment of ministers in training, and the interviews are tomorrow. And so my wife had to be ready. Now, that was a sacrifice she made because she was not at the time into ministry. My wife was God fearing, but she wasn't trying to go into ministry to the level that she is now with the women's prayer challenge and the things that she does. That's evolving, that is growing, that has been a byproduct of me being obedient, that my wife had a vision that was going to bless so many women world wives, with the women's 7-day prayer challenge. Y'all can comment, hit me up. I'll let y'all know how to find out about that. But when I went to ministry school, that was something my wife had to sacrifice for, right? 'Cause we had just had our youngest child. I mean, she was an infant, and I was doing work holding her sometimes, and she would cry. I'd ask my wife to come and do lion's share of parenting with a newborn because I was in ministry school, right? So, and then I had to make up for that time, and there are times in which, I've had to sacrifice for her. When my wife my wife kills it when it comes to business. My wife can do anything. She's amazing. And so there are times, y'all, where I'm just Alduan. I'm just Mecca's husband, right? I'm shaking hands, saying, what's up? I'm working the room, but I really want to watch the game. I really do. I want to chill. But if she says, babe, I need you to come shake some hands, meet some people. Let's do some deals. I'm there. You know what I'm saying? I'm there. Sometimes you have to sacrifice for the greater good. Y'all know what I'm talking about. That's part of marriage, right? And so if you can do that evenly, neither one of you feels like you're taking advantage of and you're sacrificing. Now, now remember this, and I forgot to tell y'all, let me give credit where credit is due. This research comes from Dr. Carol Rusbelt, right? And she looked at this. So this is not what I think. This is the research. This is why I want to be in this space. I want to be in this space front and center, right? Because there's a lot of people out here that don't do the research, and it's cool, they give good advice, but you need someone coming in and showing you, the tools, a professional in this space as well. And so I'm here and I'm glad, humbled to accept it. All right. So these are the 5 factors to maintain a marriage. This is how couples can be married for 20 years and it falls apart. How these couples can be amazing. Like we know couples who are broken up. You know couples who are broken up. And when you know them individually, they're amazing. But together, they did not fit. And it's because of these 5 factors that went away. Right. And it's something we have to guard for because you're not great in marriage every day. Y'all know you can be great today and terrible tomorrow, right? Me included. So you have to stay up on these things. All right, number 3, forgiveness. Oh my goodness. And let me just dive into this a little bit. All right, forgiveness. Okay. Are you able to talk towards forgiveness, or do you just argue and quarrel? How many of you ever gone into a conversation and you thought it was gonna go well? You like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this. We're gonna agree to disagree and keep it moving. And after the argument, you felt worse than you did. Like, why did I do that to myself? Right? I went into the argument, I went into the conversation, the difference of opinion, happy or at least hopeful. And I walked out looking at your spouse like you had those fantasies like a bull hits them like in Madrid in Spain, bam, a bus. You know how you get so mad, right? You walk out of it like, man, you're angry. No, you have to be able to really talk towards forgiveness. And so what that means that are you able to create a plan of correction? Like you can't just apologize and do the same thing. Like a lot of people say, I'm struggling with forgiveness. And I say, okay, let's work through it. But then their spouse is doing the same thing. Like, how are you supposed to forgive a consistent offense? Right? When Jesus, I'm gonna give y'all the word, right? Crazy faith, shout out to Mike Todd. I'm gonna give y'all more word in this thing. When Peter betrayed Christ, and y'all can look up the story if you don't know it, right? Jesus looked at Peter and said, Peter said, I'm gonna be there for you. Of course, I'm paraphrasing. And Jesus said, really, before the rooster crows, you're gonna defy me, you're gonna deny me 3 times. That's what Peter did when they said, hey, you one of Jesus' followers, when they went to go get him to kill him. Then he was like, I don't know what you're talking about. One of them was and one time it was a girl. A girl was like, that's you. And he was still like, no. That's easy for me to judge. Because they're about to kill me. Doesn't matter if it's a boy or a girl. Everyone gonna be like, I don't know what you're talking about. But anyway, when Jesus went back to Peter, right? He asked him 3 times after this happened and Jesus was resurrected. He went back to him and said, do you love me 3 times? Peter was like, why are you asking me the same question 3 times? And then Peter got it. That was all Jesus did. He wanted to make sure that he had atoned for his sins. He repented, and then Peter went on to be one of the boldest disciples in the Bible. When it was Pentecost, Peter stepped up. Peter was the one. All that boldness came out, right? And so uh, Peter had to change. He couldn't go on and expect Jesus to believe in him if he wasn't going to be bold and have crazy faith for the kingdom. You can't ask your wife to trust you if you're still doing the same stuff you're asking for forgiveness for. That's just manipulative. Same thing, ladies. You can't say you're not going to, you're going to let your man finish the sentence and then keep interrupting him, keep correcting him, keep talking down to him. No, you have to be able to hold your tongue. Now say your piece because Lord knows we need to hear it, but say it in a way that is respectful yet direct. You can be soft and direct. You can be soft yet hard. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to scream. It depends on what you say. You can be like, look, brother, if you don't get this fixed, you're going to lose the best thing that ever happened to you. You have 30 days to come up with your own plan. 30 days, right? Because I can't take 30 more days of this. It's killing me. Bam, that's direct enough. I don't know a man out there that's just, if he's having a problem, it's just like, look, there's some urgency to this. All right, let's keep it moving because I know y'all saying, come on, Alduan, let's keep it moving. All right, number 4, positive comparison. This is an interesting one. How does your current marriage compare to the dream that you have for marriage? This is a big one. When I sit down and I talk with couples, one on one, right? A lot of times they're like, look, listen, family, I didn't know it was going to be like this. I didn't know it was going to be like this. I had a totally different idea of what our marriage is going to be. And this is not that. And couples have had to do some heavy lifting. They've had to throw away their old marriage and create a new one with the same person and saying, look, all this one person working, these affairs, us not spending quality time, us not going on vacation, us making the marriage all about the kids, you not leveling up, us not being equally yoked, you not having life insurance, you not going for your dreams, you coming home irritable, you're not taking care of your health. You're not looking desirable. You letting yourself go. I can go through all the reasons it's not working. So you have to have a positive comparison for your marriage based upon what you want. And I think it's a good time for you to evoke that Sierra and just level up, right? Both of y'all level up as Alduan, level up as Mecca. Put your names in the blank. All right, but also, how does your marriage compare to others? This is an interesting one because y'all know when it comes to social media, we compare ourselves. We are comparison creatures. I'm not saying it's right, but I am saying it's tight, right? It's it's real. Like, am I doing better than my neighbors? If you feel like, you know what, I could do better somewhere else, that's when your marriage is in trouble. When you say, I can find another man who can treat me better, marriage is in trouble. I can find another wife who could treat me better, right? When you don't have a positive comparison, your marriage is in trouble because you're already thinking about the alternative. So this would be a good opportunity for you and your spouse, you and your partner, you and your king, you and your queen to sit down and say, what can we do to make things better? Better, right? Better. And then number five, all right, positive illusion. Let me break this down, right? Positive illusion is like no matter what's going on, can I imagine a scenario in which we make it based on facts, right? What do we have as a couple that will allow us to get through this storm? Right? Anyone that knows us know that Mecca and I have different ideas on a couple of different things, right? And like one of them was how much expansion to our family, right? I wanted two, she wanted three. Now we're at three. I'm sure at some point there's gonna be four, right? Five, at least conversations about that. And we're on different pages in that. But the fact that we have the trait of listening, we have trait of humility that we will go see our own psychologist. Shout out to you, Dr. Felix. Y'all check out Dr. Kenny Felix. One in. Yeah, we're gonna blow that brother up. He's amazing to be able to talk about what's really going on so that we can have a mediator. It says in the Bible, it says plans fail for lack of counsel, but with many advisors, they succeed. Right. And so that means the more counsel we get, we're going to be able to go get wise counsel. We're not going to just argue about this thing. We have a rule. We argue three times about the same thing. We call in Dr. Felix, or we're seeking um, mediation from our parents, her parents, whomever's wise, another couple, all right, to be able to say, how do we negotiate this? And then we're also gritty. All right. What personal traits do you have? All right. So what personal traits do you have as a husband or wife? And what does your partner have? You need all those things, right? So one of the traits that I have is the ability to diversify my happiness. So if my wife and I, let me break this down. If my wife and I are unhappy, all right, and we're going through a phase, all right, I don't put all of my happy eggs in the marriage basket. So I'm able to say, all right, this might be the time to write that book. This might be the time to pump your Instagram up. This might be the time to focus on the girls or our son. This might be the time to focus on your parents. This might be the time to really lock in and ask the church for a new assignment. So things that I can do to stay busy that are fulfilling and happy until the marriage is able to work through where it needs to work through. Otherwise, you find yourself being so depressed because of marriage, if your partner, if you're codependent on your partner for happiness and they're not doing well, or you're not doing well, or your marriage is not doing well, you're going to struggle. You're going to struggle. So I'm able to handle a storm by being able to find other outlets for happiness until we're able to get back into a groove. And then my wife's strength, she's very composed. My wife is cooler than the other side of a pillow. So she's able to be calm. She's able to be relaxed about the situation, even though she will not move on her principles. So she's able to be composed. So we don't have to have these ups and downs. We don't have those Bobby and Whitney moments, right? We're able to stay in there like the Obamas because my wife is composed, and then I'm also diversifying, and then we honor God and we go to prayer and we believe in wise counsel. But enough about the tarts. What do you have, family? I really want you to write this down. I really want we start talking about stamina, right? Anyone can get married, but can you stay married, fam? This is a challenge to me too, right? Can we stay married? Anyone can get married. Well, not anyone. You can go to the next level, right? And commit. And then once you commit, can you stay in that thing? That's what we're talking about today. So I want you to sit down with your wife. If you're watching this, man, ladies, if you're watching this, sit down with your husband or your boyfriend, your king, your fiance, and just say, what do you have? What do I have? And what do we have that gives us staying power? Can you stand the rain? Cue up the new edition. Can you stand the rain? Right? You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to let them go and get your peace. I'm not going to cue that song up either. You know what I'm saying? So listen, y'all, I hope y'all enjoyed this. I really enjoy. I'm going to be giving y'all more and more of what y'all desire. Promise. You know, and I'm excited. So make sure you subscribe and like. I hope y'all like this. I'm gonna do a quick recap. And if you like this, we have a community called betterhusbandbetterwife.com. It got cut off, but betterhusbandbetterwife.com. Where basically what we do, fam, is that your marriage is gonna need work. It's one thing to know what to do, it's another thing to actually do it. So we bring in really amazing couples once a month together in community, and we're your guides. And a lot of times we bring in professionals to speak life to us. It's just $97 a month. You get a whole masterclass to go along with it, but you also get a community of people who want to be dope at marriage and want to put the work in. Where we work on intimacy, we work on communication, we work on conflict resolution, we work on talking about money for real, and we just, man, anything y'all want, we give it to you. So anyway, so check that out. But let's do a quick. Let me find it, y'all. Let's do a quick recap of the top five, not top five, but the five. All right, accommodative behavior, right? Move towards one another, right? Number two, sacrifice, die to self for your partner, but it needs to be equal. Number three, forgive. Don't just talk and argue, forgive, but change so that you can deserve forgiveness, right? Positive comparison, right? Like make sure that what you're thinking you want your marriage to be really is in reality. You don't have to die in your marriage. You can live. You can live, and you shall live and not die. Cue up the Darlene McCoy. All right, my sister. All right, and number five, a positive illusion. When you think about it, we just talked about that. Y'all got it. Positive illusion. So you can sit there and say, when I dream and I focus, what do we have that's concrete that we can have stamina? So I love y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed this. I'm coming with more heat. Y'all subscribe to that button. Put this in your marriage. If you're preparing as a single, write this down. And as you're dating, these are the questions to be able to ask Mr. and Mrs. Right. I love y'all. Let me pray for you, Lord. God, I ask and pray that everyone watch this, Lord. It be beneficial, that it be fruit, it be manna, Lord, it be bread to their soul, Lord, and that be able just to take it and receive it and be able to talk about it, Lord. How for someone who's single right now, allow them to be able to find the perfect man who's like, I'm with all these things doing it. Allow a man that's watching this to say, if I can find a woman that rocks with this, allow them to be able to find one another and gravitate and move towards one another, Lord. We celebrate all love. We celebrate partners coming together. We celebrate, all faiths, Lord. We just thank you for all that you do. But for me, I call you God, I call you Yahweh, and I'm just excited about what you're doing, Lord. And we just thank you, Lord, for what you're doing for my family, and continue to use me as a vehicle to put out what you put in me to your people. These things we ask in Jesus' name, amen. All right. So respect to you all, the different faiths. Hope y'all just take the information and apply it to your life, because we agree on what we more than what we disagree on, right? I know some will disagree with that, but that's my philosophy. I'd rather talk about the 90% we agree on and then get to the 10%. About the 90%. Come on, what's the point? All right, unless you really want to get into it, but we can. Anyway, I love y'all. Take care. God bless. Dr. Tartt.